Okay guys, so something new today as we take a look into Helldivers 2 and some of the stuff that's going on inside of this community, as Helldivers 2 has caused a rippling effect among PlayStation and PC players alike and kind of left Xbox a little bit in the dust. Well, Phil Spencer has come up and had a statement on this one. We're also going to talk AMD software with regards to the game and how you can get some bonus XP this weekend. So with that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated and it lets me know that we're doing the right thing here on the channel. Also, before we go into it, if you could check out our sponsor Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favorite flavor is cherry vanilla, but you guys can catch an array of flavors via the link in the description. With that being said, let's dive on in to see what's going on with Helldivers 2. So starting off, Phil Spencer on Helldivers 2 exclusivity, stating, "I'm not sure who it helps." Now, an article on Forbes directed by Paul Tassi has gone up about this, and my oh my, this is a deep one indeed. For those of you guys who don't know, Helldivers 2 is a exclusive that is on PlayStation and on PC only. There has got no port on Xbox at all, and it seems to be causing a little bit of a ripple, but we're going to dive on in and see what it said. As Paul Tassi actually states right here that Helldivers 2 continues to accelerate, crossing a 250,000 players on Steam and many more on PlayStation, but Xbox's Phil Spencer wonders why it can't go further. Microsoft has now committed to bringing some of its community-driven games to places like PlayStation 5 and Xbox soon, and the reports buying Sea of Thieves and Grounded, and Spencer, in an interview with GameFile newsletter, wondered out loud about why they can't be true of Helldivers 2. I will say, Phil Spencer actually stated, "I will say when I take a look at Helldivers 2, it's a great game. Kudos to the team shipping on PC and PlayStation. I'm not exactly sure who it helps in the industry by not being on Xbox, and if you try to twist yourself to say, like, somehow that benefited somebody somewhere, then I get it. There's a legacy in console gaming, and that we're going to benefit by shipping games and not putting them on other places. We do the same thing." Now, in fact, it's been a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to multiplayer games across both consoles. While Microsoft may be bringing Sea of Thieves and Grounded across the aisle, as of yet they haven't done anything that will say with Halo Infinite's multiplayer, among with other potential options. Not to say that it won't happen though, as the first 4 games Xbox is bringing elsewhere are likely only the first, but it's like Phil says, they do it too. Now for PlayStation though, it's also been a bit all over the place when Sony acquired Bungie. The stipulation was not only that Destiny 2 would stay multi-platformed, but future Bungie games would also be multi-platformers. Now the upcoming Shooter Marathon, for instance, will be released on Xbox, but Helldivers 2 isn't. And Sony has only publicly committed to bringing its new live games to PlayStation and PC, not a rival console like Xbox, except for Bungie games. So it does seem a little bit complicated. So will we be seeing Helldivers 2 on the Xbox? It's kind of one of those. I think that the claim that Sony are making to obviously multi-platform across PC and with PlayStation is one thing, but I can't actually see them opening up the doors unless Xbox completely open up into a almost glass room to allow games to pass through as and when, instead of being quite selective on the titles that they allow to go through. I don't think they're going to allow the multi-platform activity on games at launch, but they may launch them and then allow games to move over once they see how the development of those games goes. Now, if you had Power World specifically on PlayStation, for instance, or something along those lines, and it excelled really, really well, you wouldn't want that to go multi-platform because it would benefit your platform because of the extensive growth inside of the game. So Helldivers 2 right now, having the numbers that it's got, it would be beneficial to keep it on PlayStation for Sony. Obviously, we're talking business levels, but it would also be quite nice for you guys on Xbox to be able to play games that you want to play that you wouldn't have access to, especially with the prices of consoles right now. It does seem to be a bit of a skeptical one. But for those of you guys who are playing on an AMD GPU over on PC, the AMD Radeon software 24.2.1 is now out, which has got massive support for Helldivers 2, Skull and Bones, and Nightingale. This one is absolutely huge, and AMD software 24.2.1 is now available for supported graphics cards from the Red Team. Now, the latest driver introduces support and optimizations for Helldivers 2. There was also a hefty list of fixes and minor improvements improvements, but that's a whole nother video altogether, and they'll all make your experiences a lot better. But the improvements to intermittent driver timeouts and application crashes while playing Helldivers 2 seems to be a big one, which apparently is something that we're having a really big issue with inside of the game. It does seem to be holding a lot of different points at the moment where people are experiencing crashes and loss of game files, which is meaning that they're getting so far into the game and then it crashes and they lose all progression towards it, which is a little bit of an annoyance and a little bit frustrating. But nonetheless, these game companies seem to work like this quite bloody frequently. It hasn't stopped the game being so popular. But for those of you guys who are playing right now, Helldivers 2 players can now get bonus XP this weekend. Now, to make up for some of the frustrating bugs impacting XP earned from challenges, developers are offering bonus XP this entire weekend for Helldivers 2 players that complete missions. Now, Helldivers 2 players are getting the bonus XP this weekend as the developers failed to fix some frustrating bugs in the latest patch. Now, patch 1.000006 came out on February 14th with the intention of fixing some big bugs that would make the game crash and not save progression after completing certain missions. Now, unfortunately, players noticed the same issues persisting after the update, and now Deputy Game Director Sagar Baroshi is offering some extra XP to make up for the continuing occurrence. Now, this obviously doesn't rectify the problem, but it is obviously a nice little bonus to hopefully gain back the XP that you would have lost. Now, if we're still experiencing these issues now, you are just going to be losing more XP than what you're actually gaining, but nonetheless. Now, how do you actually get the bonus XP in Helldivers 2 this weekend? On February 16th, Baroshi shared a message with Helldivers 2 players on Twitter. He stated that the team has been aware of the problem that has caused some players' rewards to not pay out properly at the end of missions, and they state, "We are working on a fix for this, but in the meantime we want to try to alleviate the impact as we head into the weekend. From now until Sunday, February 18th, we are going to be rewarding a 50% multiplier on top of your base mission score that gets you a lot more XP and requisition when a mission is completed. You'll be able to tell this when the XP multiplier is active when you see a game master effect called accounting corrections on the Super Destroyer." As you can see on screen, the little post that we've got up here is obviously the biggest indication for it, and it's nice to see that Helldivers is really sort of trying to give something back for all of the issues that it's had. With over 2.6 million views on this, they've obviously got a massively wide bloody audience right now, and considering they're not even on Xbox, this is something which is absolutely huge and will bang in the oncoming months as we go towards later dates. And whether it comes out on Xbox or not, if it does, just expect this community to expand even further. But like we said, I don't think PlayStation are going to let go of this one. Let me know in the comments section what you guys are thinking and whether you would like to see this come on the Xbox platform or not. I would suspect that if it does come, then it's probably not going to be this year, but we're yet to see exactly how that one pans out. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, because unfortunately that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much again for all of your ongoing support here on the channel, and if you guys want to see more Helldivers 2, then let me know via the comment section by sticking a love heart emoji, because realistically there's nothing more than love going around here. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate your faces. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the clouds.